Hello and welcome to another episode of Parenting with a Pediatrician, your own YouTube channel for all your parental queries. I am Dr. Garima, a pediatrician practicing at the Mopeds Clinic in Gurgaon, and today I am going to talk about fever in children. Before I go any further, just a simple request. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel Parenting with a Pediatrician, and a big thanks for people who have already subscribed to our channel. We'll continue to bring more such informative videos for you to see. Now starting our hot topic of the day, fever. All children get fever from time to time. A fever itself usually causes no harm and can actually be a good thing. It's often a sign that the body is fighting an infection. But when your child wakes in the middle of night hot and cranky, as a parent you might get hassled as to what to do. Should you give your child medicine or let a fever run its own course? How do you know when it's time to visit the doctor? And what are some of the signs that your child's fever is more than just a simple virus? Many such questions come into your minds as a parent. Also, we do tend to have many false beliefs or myths about fever. Most parents think that fever will hurt their child. They worry and they lose their sleep when the child has a fever, and this is called as fever phobia. But let me tell you that most fevers are harmless and in fact often helpful. So today, I'll ease your fever fears on this episode of Parenting with a Pediatrician and talk to you about common concerns which come to your mind as a parent when your child has a fever. So, first question which comes to our mind is, what exactly is fever? What do we understand by fever? So fever, simply put, is a symptom of an illness. It is not a disease as most parents think. In our brain, there is a part called as hypothalamus, which has a thermostat kind of function. This hypothalamus knows what temperature our body should be, which is usually around 98.6 degree Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. And this will send messages to our body to keep it that way. Fever happens when this body's internal thermostat raises the body temperature above its normal reason, which can be due to any reason. It could be infection, it could be any illness or some other cause. Because turning up the heat is a way for the body to fight the germs that cause infections, making it a less comfortable place for them. Now most kids' body temperatures, they change a little bit during the course of the day. It's usually a little lower in the morning and a little higher in the evening. And also it can vary with kids because kids run around, play and exercise. Infants also tend to have higher temperatures than older children. So how do you as a parent will know that it's a fever? Although most commonly the method used by most parents is a hand placed lightly on the skin. Though this is often enough to give you a hint that your child has fever, however, this method is not an accurate measurement. As children normally also radiate a lot of heat depending on their activity level and the environment in which they are staying, their forehead might seem warm when they are actually not having fever. So if a child feels warm to you, they might not be actually having fever. So always use a thermometer to confirm a fever. Now it's a fever when the child's temperature is at or above one of these levels. For example, when you measure it in the mouth, that is oral measurement, it's more than 100 degree Fahrenheit or 37.8 degrees centigrade. If measured in the armpit or in the axillary position, it should be above 99 degree Fahrenheit or 37.2 degrees centigrade. And another less commonly used method but the most accurate method is rectally, and in that the fever should be 100.4 degree Fahrenheit or 38 degrees centigrade. But how high a fever is does not tell you about how sick the child is. Sometimes kids with a fever breathe faster than usual and they may have a faster heart rate, which is expected. But if your child has trouble breathing, is breathing fast than normal and is still breathing fast after the fever comes down, then please get them examined by a doctor. Next question which comes to your mind is, why is my child having fever? So again, as I said, it's important to remember that fever by itself is not an illness. It's usually a sign or symptom of another problem. And the most common being is infection. It is one of the most common causes of fever. A fever will help the body fight the infections. So in fact, it's a good thing. Another common issue is overdressing, especially for infants like newborns. They may get fever even if they are overclothed or they stay in a hot environment because they are not able to regulate their body temperature as well as older kids. But on the flip side, fevers in newborn can indicate a serious infection. So even infants who are overdressed must be checked by a doctor if they have a fever. Another most common cause is immunizations. Babies and kids, they sometimes get a low-grade fever after getting vaccinated. Although teething is believed to be a cause of fever, but it may only cause a slight rise in body temperature. It's usually not a cause of concern unless the temperature is higher than 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 37.8 degrees centigrade. So when a fever is a sign of something serious and you should visit your doctor. As I said, fevers are not something bad. It is a sign that your child's body is trying to fight infection. High fever, though, can make a child uncomfortable and make problems like dehydration worse. In an infant 3 months or younger who has a temperature of 100.4 degree Fahrenheit or 38 degrees centigrade or higher than this, it should be checked by a doctor always. Even a slight fever in this age group can be a sign of a potentially serious infection in very young children. If your child is between 3 months and 3 years old and has a fever of 102.2 degree Fahrenheit or 39 degrees centigrade or higher, he or she should be seen by a doctor. For older kids, always take behavior and activity level into account. Watching how your child behaves will give you a pretty good idea of whether a minor illness is caused or if your child should be seen by a doctor. The illness is probably not serious if your child is still interested in playing, is eating and drinking well, is alert and smiling at you, has a normal skin color, and looks normal when his or her temperature comes down. So the exact temperature that should trigger a visit to the doctor depends, one, on the child's age, then the illness, and third, whether there are any associated symptoms with the fever. Also, a child will need a visit to a doctor if, though the fever is less than 102.2 degree Fahrenheit or 39 degrees centigrade, but has the following signs, like the child seems too ill to drink adequately, has prolonged diarrhea, repeated vomiting, has signs of dehydration like urine is less, when the child cries, has not enough tears, and the child is looking lethargic, or if the child has a specific complaint like sore throat, earache, or tummy ache. Also, if the child has a fever after 48 hours in a child less than 2 years of age or 72 hours in a child more than 2 years of age. If your child has a chronic medical problem, has a rash, has pain while passing urine, these are signs that the child should be seen by a doctor. In certain signs, the child should be taken to an emergency immediately. For example, if your child is extremely irritable or is crying incessantly, if it's very lethargic and is having trouble waking up, has some rashes on the body which look like bruises on the skin, has blue lips, tongue or nail, or in a case of an infant, the soft spot on the head seems bulging out or is very sunken in. If your child has a stiff neck or is complaining of a severe headache, if the child has trouble breathing that does not get better when the nose is cleared, or if the child is throwing a seizure or a fit, or if the child has moderate to severe belly pain, they should be immediately taken to the emergency. So, are there any measures which you can as a parent do to make your child feel better at home? So, ideally not all fevers need to be treated. In most cases, fever should be treated only if it's causing a child discomfort. There are certain ways to ease the symptoms that often accompany a fever. So, the first obviously is the medicine. If your child is fussy or uncomfortable, you can give them acetaminophen or ibuprofen based on your doctor's advice or the package recommendations for the age and weight, but only when the child has fever, and this fever has to be measured by a thermometer. Infants less than 3 months old should not be given any medicine for fever without being checked by a doctor. If your child has any medical problem, check with the doctor to see which medicine is best to use. Do not self-medicate. Now remember that fever medicine can temporarily bring a temperature down, but it won't treat the underlying reason for fever, as most parents believe. There are certain home comfort measures which you can do at your home to make your child comfortable. Dress your child in lightweight clothing and cover with a light sheet or blanket. overdressing and overbundling can prevent the body heat from escaping and can cause the temperature to rise. Make sure your child's bedroom is at a comfortable temperature. It's neither too hot nor too cold. While lukewarm sponge baths are used to lower fever, this method only helps temporarily. But never use ice or cold water to bring your child's fever down. It is not safe and it will make your child uncomfortable and may in fact raise the temperature further by causing shivering. Also avoid bundling your child in more layers of clothing or blankets because this makes it more difficult for the body to release the extra heat and cool down. Apart from this, what kind of food and drinks you can give to your child when the child is running fever? First and foremost, offer plenty of fluids to avoid dehydration because fever makes children lose fluids more rapidly than usual. Water, soups, buttermilk, coconut milk, homemade juices, etc. are all good choices. Avoid drinks with caffeine, including colas and teas, because they can make the dehydration worse by increasing urination. If your child has diarrhea, you should give an electrolyte solution made especially for kids. Do not offer sports or sugary drinks like juices. They are not made for young children and the added sugar can make the diarrhea worse. Plus, don't worry too much about a child with a fever who does not want to eat as long as he is drinking fine. This is very common with infections that cause fever. For kids who can still drink and urinate normally, not eating as much as usual is okay. So in general, let kids eat what they want in reasonable amounts, but don't force it if they don't feel like it. Take it easy. Make sure your child gets plenty of rest. Staying in bed all day isn't necessary, but a sick child should take it easy. It's best to keep a child with a fever home from school or childcare. Most doctors feel that it's safe to return when the temperature has been normal for 24 hours. So don't think of sending your child to school when the child is febrile. Apart from this, anything else that you as a parent should know? 1. All kids get fever and in most cases they are completely back to normal within a few days. For older babies and kids, the way they act can be more important than the reading on your thermometer. Everybody gets a little cranky when they have fever. This is normal and this should be expected. But if you are ever in doubt about what to do and what a fever might mean, or if your child is acting ill in a way that concerns you, even if there is no fever, always visit your doctor for advice. Now I am going to also talk about what type of thermometers are available. With the onset of COVID pandemic, all sorts of thermometers are now available in the market. The topmost is the digital thermometer. It gives the quickest, the most accurate reading and the only kind, they are presently the only kind that we as doctors currently recommend. They are available in a variety of sizes and shapes and they are sold commonly at most chemists. They are used for taking temperature via following methods. One is oral, that is in the mouth. It is best for kids 4 to 5 years or older who can cooperate. Under the arm, it's very common but it's least accurate, but it's good for a first check. Rectal temperature, that is in the bottom. It's most accurate method for children under 3 years age, but it's not widely used in India. Other type of thermometers are like temporal artery thermometer. It basically measures the heat waves on the side of the forehead and can be used in infants 3 months or older. Infrared thermometers, they are now being commonly used. You must have seen them everywhere. They measure the surface temperature, but they depend on ambient temperature and they have last 1 year gained certain popularity. Then there are the tympanic thermometers or the ear thermometers. They measure heat waves from the eardrum and can be used in infants 6 months or older. There are certain types of thermometers which are now not recommended because they are less accurate. One are the plastic strip thermometers, then we have the pacifier thermometers, then we have smartphone temperature apps. They all give inaccurate readings. Mercury thermometers were once very common, but they are cumbersome to use, especially in young children because they might not like it and they also might lead to a possible exposure to mercury, a toxin, although it's very rare. Now I'll be telling you about certain tips for taking temperature by depending on the age of the child. As any parent knows, taking an irritable child's temperature can be a challenge. The best method will depend on a child's age and temperament. For babies less than 6 months, you will get the most reliable reading by using either a digital thermometer to take a rectal temperature, but it's not a very common way, especially in India, and you as a parent might feel scared about hurting your child. So armpit or infrared or ear thermometer can be used depending on availability with you. For kids between 6 months to 4 years, you can use a digital thermometer to take an axillary temperature, that is the armpit temperature. You can also use a ear thermometer or an infrared thermometer, but all of these are less accurate. For kids 4 years or older, you can usually use a digital thermometer to take an oral temperature if your child cooperates. This is preferable to other methods. Important thing to note is fevers are unavoidable. The key is to make your child as comfortable as possible until the fever passes and get medical treatment when needed. Hope this short video helped you clear many doubts about fever. If you still have any more query, please do drop it in. Once again, a sincere request to please like, share and subscribe to our channel, Parenting with a Pediatrician. Thank you for a patient listening. Stay safe, stay healthy.